Good afternoon and welcome back to DR Sports for another edition of the Saturday Football Show with myself, AGT. To my left, I've got a very upset, in pain, frustrated, angry Matisse.
Yes.
It's good to see you though again. I didn't see you on Monday. Where were you?
I had a wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, really?
Didn't sleep all night, stuck in the ends of South. Mess around, just long day, long weekend indeed. But
What was the
best believe I'm not ducking and running because I would love to cuss this Chelsea team on as many platforms as I can get a hold of. So.
Good. Well, listen, your channel's flying at the minute.
Unfortunately.
If you haven't already, go over and subscribe to Matisse. I wonder why. To my right today, he was just hosting, did a brilliant co-hosting job earlier on the Manchester derby. Fu, how are we doing, brother?
My guy, good to be back. Good to be back. Listen, I'm enjoying today. Today's my day of enjoyment before the real business kicks off tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for the vibes, and we saw a good game earlier on with the Manchester derby. Of course, United nicking it the last 10 minutes, but hope for some more goals now.
You mentioned earlier about City's depth. I mean, they literally sold probably, arguably, definitely one depth player, but one starter to Arsenal in Zinchenko and Jesus. Is those sales going to come back to bite them at the end of the season?
100%. And I think
if they aren't already.
When they sold them in the summer, I genuinely thought, we're only selling them to little bro. It's like Arteta's little bro, Arsenal's little bro. You know, we take players from them and we can give them a couple. And they thought top four race
became the big brother.
Yeah, they thought, top
I'm the
four
captain
race.
now.
They did not expect them to take those two and turn into what they've turned into. So I think there's definitely regret on that end. But then also, with Sterling, Jesus and Zinchenko, I felt like every time with City, what you loved was, okay, Bernardo, you're not on form, I'll take you out, I'll put Sterling in. There was no guaranteed starters in Pep's system. It was just who was performing. And the beauty of that was you had that much quality. Now you look at it, it's like, you take away the left back, Cancelo, and it's like Sergio Gomez. Is it a like for like? Zinchenko never gave you less than a 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Same with Jesus. Jesus, the beauty was he never scored and still contributed to games. Sterling completely changed the game, became like a final ball killer on the back post. And now they're missing all of those, what I would say, intangibles, if you like.
The bankers.
Yeah. And you can see the difference now in their team. You can see the difference in their team, man.
Potter says Raphael in the comments. We will speak about that as well, of course, if you're up for it. if you're a fan of Potter or not, I'm not too sure. At the minute, we'll
I think we deserve it. I deserve it.
Let's talk about Man City then. Obviously, we can eulogise United now winning 12 games out of 18, 4 losses. But this is now City's third loss. 2 wins in 5 games for Manchester City. What is wrong with them at the moment, if anything? It's clearly not clicking.
They can't play Chelsea every week, clearly.
Well, clearly. But at the same time, if you're a Man City fan right now, and if you are, let us know in the comments how you feel about the title race now. Are they still the favourites though, in a weird way?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's really easy to say after the recent results, but we all know the firepower that City have, and like I said, they do have the robot up front who can score goals for fun. I'm sure they'll be back. Yeah, there's a long way to go in the season. I think they'll be back, and but to say they're favourites, I don't know. That will be
only because it's 4 out of the last 5. They could make it 3 in a row.
It'll be harsh on Arsenal, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably say City is still the favourites. They'll come back, surely.
Maybe we do a poll on that in the chat as
second
well.
Season, they always come good second season.
I think with City, one thing you can never do is rule them out. No. I think they've shown that time and time again. Maybe even they've been in this similar position in previous season, and then second half just gone on 16 wins in a row, undefeated at home or whatever it is. They're so capable of that. And the thing is, it's where you might look at their squad depth and think maybe they don't have that same squad depth that they had previous years. They do have Haaland, as you mentioned there, but I think I think that's been the biggest difference this year. It's going forward, you feel like the system's kind of more trying to fit Haaland in, and rightly so, to be fair, he's a world-class player, do you know what I mean? But that adaptation is a little bit like you guys with Darwin. You're moving away from that false line where it's a whole different intricate build-up, more 1-2s, more triangles, more overloads on either side of the pitch. They're not doing that anymore. It's kind of more, can we find Haaland? But then
oh my goodness me, Brighton have scored.
Yes!
Straight away from the kickoff. Why was
Told
so
you.
behind? Solly March. Oh my God.
Solly March.
Hey man.
Deserby gets the
What
best
was
out
that
of this guy.
half-time team
That's fully
talk?
deserved, though.
Oh my God.
Fully deserved.
It ain't
And Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Wow.
The goals are flying in. It's London
wow.
buses all
Goals
over.
are scored as well.
But I don't want this bus to come, and
Oh
that
my
bus
God.
is
Daniel
Brighton
Podence.
scoring through Solly Marsh. They're now 1-0 up against Liverpool. Also, Daniel Podence, the 5'6" magician for Wolverhampton Wanderers, scores against West Ham. Matisse.
I'm so happy that we get to go through this experience. This season, me and you, we gon' die. We going down to the trenches. Me and you this season,
together.
you'll never walk alone. Every single game, we just try to outdo each other. I lose, and you're like, no, step back. We're the main characters. Let me show you how it's done. Then you lose, and then watch tomorrow against Palace. We got something for you. Don't worry.
Basuma, not so much for Spurs, obviously. But I imagine if he came back into our team, he'll be the exact same Basuma that he was.
So what you're saying, we need to just buy the whole club?
Well, looking, yeah, looked at it way.
He says you want
Just
more?
leave us
Can I
alone.
buy your system?
Just support
Can I
us.
buy
Just
that?
support Brighton.
Going to buy your stadium for
Yeah,
away
exactly.
games.
Multi-club
Dressing
model.
room.
Let's do this.
everything.
But no, I do. That's the thing. It's hard to say now. Ben White's done well, hasn't he? Since moving on.
Yeah,
Dan
yeah.
Burn, I suppose he's not like a big sign of Newcastle, but he's done well.
He's good.
hasn't he? Caicedo. It'll be harsh to say no. I do believe that he will go on to be a very, very good midfielder, no matter what team he goes on to.
Because we've been linked to him as well as obviously you guys, and I kind of
Yeah, but do your... you know what I mean?
what
He's hard. We're looking at him.
we're looking at
Fighting over Brighton
what are you
players, it's
looking at?
mad for me, by the way. This is crazy.
Chelsea are just-
Bro, this is what the world has become.
Just give me the money.
So I would overpay for Enzo Fernandez because I do think he's got that pass through.
You overpay for everyone.
World
but I
Cup.
wouldn't. But I don't think, no.
Klopp.
Out. I'm joking.
I know you're used to saying the word out at the minute, but
I don't
just
say I'm not one of those people. That's somebody.
That was a lovely video.
That's a
wasn't
different.
it?
That's a different fan base that started that.
The Chelsea
What
fans.
else?
The Chelsea fans following Potter to his car after Fulham. That was a lovely video.
yeah,
To be fair.
they were bigging him up though.
Out,
to be fair.
in,
They were
out,
saying-
shake it all about. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't business with it.
But Klopp, right? Pressure is going to mount naturally if Liverpool don't look like they're getting on to finish in the top four. I'm in a lot of Liverpool WhatsApp groups. People are saying write it off already. Go again next year. Looking at it, I mean, I'm not going to answer this question. I want to hear you guys' opinion, and obviously it depends on what the next 45 minutes say as well. But is he under pressure?
I don't think so. I mean, he's obviously not doing as well as they thought they would be. Maybe pressure from the fans, like you said. I think was it yesterday, a couple of days ago, when he came out and said they're not to expect any more activity in the transfer window.
He said, I don't think so.
Yeah, fans weren't happy about that. So maybe he's under pressure from the fans. Around the club, I'm sure they still love him. I think it would be nuts to sack him. I do. I don't think he should be sacked anytime soon.
Sacking him is crazy. I think the problem is with Klopp, he's almost been treated like a godlike figure, if you like,
He is,
because
though.
of what he's done for
my
the club.
eyes,
He's
he is.
actually brought them back to where Liverpool used to be. Yeah, he's brought them back into relevancy. He's got them signing top players. He's got them some of their best players in their history, arguably. You could say Salah, Mane, Van Dijk, Alisson. These are kind of what he's kind of built here. So it's given him credit in the bank, if you like. But that doesn't mean that Liverpool fans are now, blindly going to follow you, everything. And I think this has been the first season where I've been seeing Liverpool fans calling him out. In the summer when they were saying they needed a midfielder, he was saying, we don't. By the end of the window, he was saying, you know what, you guys might have been right. And that was, for me, the first chink in the armour, in my opinion, because I thought this was going to be the season where you lot really kick on. You went for the almost quadruple last year. But then the system, I feel like, where players haven't really stepped up individually. A couple of weeks back, I saw him tweaking around with a few different formations, and I like that because I was like, oh, this is him trying to evolve, trying to revolutionise his team. But it just seems like now he's reverted back to type with a 4-3-3, back to the sluggish kind of midfielders. Let's get the wing backs up, and it's not really clicking the same. So my thing is he's a great manager, but does he have that next evolution? I think that's the thing everybody always spoke about with Fergie, his ability
literally just
to
about to say
always move the team on. All right, the 92 boys are happening. Cool. Now it's going to be the Ronaldo Rooney era.
0 to Brighton versus Liverpool. Solly March again with another goal. Double trouble. Liverpool are finished. Like, honestly, this is insane.
To see it.
Yes.
All Liverpool fans came into this game,
Oh
no
my
confidence whatsoever. And we now see why. They are an absolute train wreck.
Solly March.
Since the World Cup, I don't know if they've regressed. I don't know if that's a fair statement to say. I've been watching a lot of Liverpool games. Leicester, lucky.
Wolves, lucky.
Brentford slapped. This game now. And it's not even like they're playing like Man City's yet and Arsenal. So
Solly March, the local lad.
Oh my God! Look at that, wide open.
Oh, that's a finish from the boy.
Finish from March.
That's a finish from the boy.
What a finish from
And
March.
he's on a hat trick.
Oh yes.
Might be a new agenda we cook up.
Me!
Oh!
Vamos! Vamos!
Please be Solly March, Hattie. Please. Please be Solly March. Danny Welbeck. Welle.
Yeah, Liverpool might have to have some
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the uncomfortable conversations are gonna have to start, innit?
Look
gonna
at
have to
Jules
start,
Reed. She's buzzing. I'm
Looking a bit
buzzing.
mad.
3-0 Brighton.
I'm not talking about Klopp. I'm just talking about the players. Like now, you if you don't make some serious changes, man, you need to get some of these players are finished, man.
Danny Welbeck.
It's over. It's over, man. You can't be playing like this every week, man. Some of these players, they need to be. I know you got soft spots for some of these players, but it's over, man. Someone's got to go. Someone's got to give it up, man. He's not getting a second revival out of some of these players. They ain't going again with this group, with some of these 30, 31, 32-year-olds.
Unless you have a manager like De Zerbi.
Yeah,
Can I just say,
either Klopp or some of them seniors. One of them.
with 10 minutes to go, the aggregate score this season now of Liverpool and Brighton is 6-3 to Brighton.
6-3. Yeah, that is
This
crazy.
day is
isn't it?
long. I should have
Here he
just
is,
stayed in
Welle.
bed, man.
Oh my God! What a goal! Has he dinked it over Trent's head? If Messi done that, we'd be talking about that. He's absolutely embarrassed.
Let me tell you now, trust me, you will want to watch the COP TV after this game.
You
mate.
Brighton, man, are starting to really grind my gears. You know that?
Brighton and them, man. Who would have thought that?
Yeah.
Brighton
video
and Fulham and them, man.
They're both
And
ahead
now
of
look
us.
where Brighton, Fulham, and Denman are.
Yeah.
Ahead of us, man.
Ahead of you, man.
Brighton actually overtake Liverpool in the table.
So
with
Fulham
this
11
result.
Really?
How do you see this one playing out? Traditionally, Spurs have always done well against Arsenal at home.
Yeah.
Kane normally scores a penalty, even though he could miss the next one he takes.
Easy now. Easy.
Careful. What's your prediction for the type of game? Not necessarily the score, but how is this game going to play out tomorrow?
I don't know. Tottenham Arsenal games always start off blistering. I think within the first half an hour, you can kind of tell what way this game's going to go. Whether it's going to be a battering or whether we're going to beat them. So I think it will be all guns blazing kind of the first half an hour or so, and that will kind of set the tone. That's why I've always said, for me, this game form, all of that goes out of the window. They always say for derbies, but genuinely for the North London derby, it's like you have to turn up that first 20 minutes. I remember one time at the Emirates, within 25 minutes, we were out of it. This is like 2 years ago. I remember Doherty getting absolutely ruined on the right-hand side. And I was like, yeah, you can see that guy's an Arsenal fan. Fucking gave him an open alley, bro. But this, for me, is probably the most nervous I've been for an at-home game, purely because of the form Arsenal are in, and then the way we're kind of playing. We look a bit disjointed. The defence looks like it's being held together by sellotape, basically. And I don't know, I can see a draw for Arsenal and us maybe dropping points in that kind of manner. But then at home, we have always been able to kind of pull something out. Even when we have played bad, even when Arsenal came and won the title on us, they didn't win that day. They drew type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So we've always been able to, at home, keep the scoreline respectable. So I'm not expecting a loss, but worst case scenario, a draw.